Hello and welcome to our short webinar to support the learning for Unit 4, Improving Health and Fitness for Personal Wellbeing. The purpose of this webinar is for me to cover the teaching that you will need to complete Task 7. When you've listened to this webinar, you can then go on to complete the task in the same way you have completed your earlier tasks, using your paper workbook, your ebook, or online using Moodle. Specifically, the webinar has two key objectives and will guide you through how to identify SMART targets to improve your personal health and fitness, and then how to produce a personal health and fitness plan to achieve those targets. The webinar will take about 15 to 20 minutes of your time. And one final point to mention before we start is that you are in control of this webinar. You may find that you want to pause the webinar and have a few moments to gather your thoughts or make a few notes before moving on to the next stage. Or alternatively, you may wish to rewind the webinar at any point to review the information. And you can do this using the controls on the bottom toolbar. Task 7 is split up into 3 parts. Part A is to produce a 4-week health and fitness plan to achieve a SMART targets that you set yourself based on your health and fitness. Part B is to undertake your health and fitness plan. And part C is to review the outcomes of your own personal health and fitness plan against your original SMART target. Now, this webinar will cover part A only, because once you've produced the plan, you will then need to undertake it. And once you've done that, review the outcomes. A personal health and fitness plan is designed to meet your specific needs. And the first step in designing the plan is to set yourself targets to provide that focus. So take a moment now to think how you can improve your own personal health and fitness. That will help you. You may already have a target or two in mind, which is great, but if you don't, then you could use the fitness test results you gained earlier in the unit as a starting point, and then aim, so set yourself a target, to improve on those results further. When you've set yourself targets previously, you may have heard of the term SMART. SMART is a useful acronym to ensure that your targets are not too vague or difficult to achieve, because that in itself may demotivate you. Targets that are SMART are specific, so your target will state what exactly you will be looking to improve. They will be measurable, so they will tell you what success will look like and how it will be measured. They will be achievable, so it will be personal and achievable for you. They will be realistic, so it will ensure that your target is practical and challenging you to do your best, but that it is realistic. And finally, time-bound, so it will state when it will be achieved. So now that you understand SMART, you need to develop those initial thoughts you had earlier and take the next step to producing a health and fitness plan. Can you identify an area of health and fitness that you really want to improve on? If you were to consider your current fitness levels, ask yourself a number of questions. What area of your current fitness would you like to improve? For example, your strength, your endurance, your fitness. Why do you want to improve that aspect of your fitness? And finally, what do you want your end goal to be at the end of a 4-week period? Now, it's important to consider an area that really interests you, as it is these targets that form the basis of your 4-week health and fitness plan. And having something that you really want to improve on will give you the focus that you need for this time period. Here's an example of a SMART target for a fitness plan. I want to be able to complete my 5K charity run within 30 minutes in November. As you can see, the goal is specific because the target specifies what you are looking to improve, so wanting to complete a 5K. It is measurable as it states that you want to achieve it within 30 minutes. It's been set so that it challenges you and is realistic and achievable to your current fitness levels. And finally, it is time-bound, as it gives a time frame for the target to be achieved by, in this case, November. So take a few moments now to consider your own SMART target. What do you want to achieve over a 4-week period? If you need some additional time, then press pause on the webinar now. And once you've decided on your target and it is in the SMART format, please continue with the webinar. As you've now identified your target, you need to record your target at the top of the fitness plan. If you're working on a paper or an electronic workbook, the first part of the plan will look like this, and it will look slightly different on Moodle. The next slides will give you the information to help you produce the detail of your health and fitness plan. So firstly, you will need to understand the FIT principle. And it is this principle that will help you to create an effective plan that will help you to reach that target you've set yourself. FIT stands for frequency, intensity, time, and type of exercise. And these are 4 elements that you will need to consider when writing your plan. If you do this successfully, then you will ensure that the detail in your plan and any specific exercises fit your targets and fitness level. I'm now going to talk you through the different FIT principles. So F, how often will you train or exercise toward your goal? So frequency. Now this can depend on the types of workouts you're completing, how hard you want to work, your current fitness levels, and what your target is. Intensity. So how hard will you work? High, medium, or low? And this refers to how difficult your exercise is and help provide the detail in any plan. Time. So how long will you exercise for? And type. What type of training will you do? Now I'll demonstrate how you can apply the FIT principles into an example of a plan. Now this only shows a snapshot of a 4-week plan, but you can see the different elements. Frequency, so how often you will train. So here you can see that between Monday and Wednesday, the individual is planning to exercise on 2 of the 3 days. Intensity, so you can see from the plan that the level of intensity is specified. The harder and longer your exercise is, the more intensity it may require. So for example, the 12-minute jog would be medium intensity, as the heart rate would be working at a moderate intensity, whereas the gentle jog, followed by fast runs, would be medium and high intensity. Time. So the plan specifies how long each run will last. And type. This is typically in relation to the type of exercise you will complete. Is it cardio or strength or flexibility, for example? Now, for the purpose of this task, you don't need to go into that level of detail, but what you must do is ensure that the type of exercises you are completing will help you to reach your target. Sport. Sport is another acronym to consider when creating your health and fitness plan. And these 5 principles will help you to progress and improve, so therefore get the most out of your plan. S stands for specificity. You will need to ensure that your plan and the exercises you have detailed are relevant and specific to your target. It's important that you choose exercises that support you in reaching your target. If you're unsure of any exercises or need help with coming up with some, then you can use the internet to research. P is for progression. So in order to progress, you need to make sure that your body is pushed beyond its usual needs. If you complete the same training every week, your body would become used to it and wouldn't improve. So when you're writing your program, you need to make your plan progressively harder. And you would do this by increasing the FIT principles that we looked at earlier. So for example, increasing the amount of weight you lift, completing more repetitions, having longer sessions, or having less rest. O is for overload. Now, overload links closely with progression. When your body adapts to training, you must apply this principle to allow you to progress. You must push your body outside of its comfort zone in order to get fitter and work towards achieving your target. And you must ensure that during your plan, you're not completing the same exercises or reps every single week, as your body will become used to it and it will slow down your progress. R is for reversibility. So exercising will improve your fitness. It's important that you continue with your training and keep up with the plan and exercises that you have set yourself so that you don't reverse any benefits that your training has had. Once your program is over, it's important that you try to continue and build health and fitness into your life to maintain or improve your results. T is for tedium. So make your health and fitness plan as exciting and as creative as possible. If the same activity is frequent in your plan, then you may find that your training becomes repetitive and boring. The next slide shows you how the sport principles have been applied in an example fitness plan. So, specificity. The activities that you can see here include running, jogging, walking, and football, and they're specific to the target of running a 5K. Progressive. So you can see here that the runs increase in time and there is less rest as the weeks progress. Each week is progressing slightly, but this is gradual and not too excessive. It is so important not to go in too hard on week one, as your body will need time to recover and adapt. When you're writing your plan, it is important to be realistic with your progression over the weeks. So, for example, increasing the amount of time you are running slowly each week. Overload. Here you can see the increases, the length of time that an individual is exercising for each week. Reversibility. So the plan demonstrates that training is going to continue over a 4-week period. And finally, tedium. So the plan includes a mix of training, such as running different running intervals, different sports, and hobbies. There are a few other useful points to note. So as you can see here, this program includes rest days, and it is so important that you include these so that your body can recover. When thinking about your rest days, consider your ability and your current fitness levels and the demands of your day-to-day life. Your plan should include at least 2 to 3 rest days over a full week period. Any other practical hobbies you have can be included in your plan. So, for example, sports clubs, walking, etc., as they will all contribute to improving your health and fitness. So to summarise, we have now covered the 2 most important principles that you must consider to write an effective health and fitness plan to achieve a set target. The FIT principle and the sports principle. When you're ready to complete task 7, if you are using a paper workbook or ebook, it will look like this. Or if you're using Moodle, it will look slightly different. There is a space for you to write your target at the top and then the content of your plan underneath. Before you do start, there are a final few points for you to remember. Consider your own ability against your test results. How many rest days do you think you will require? Don't go in too hard on week 1, as your body will need to recover and adapt across the 4-week period. Make sure that you have access to the equipment required to carry out the activities that you set yourself. Warm up before any exercise and cool down after to prevent injury. Include any hobbies in your plan that you would normally do as part of your day-to-day life. So for example, if you play rugby, football, netball, or walk the dog, these are all forms of exercise and they can help you to reach your target. And finally, if you have any health conditions, then please make sure that you consult your doctor before exercising and undertaking your plan if you're unsure. Now, if we were to look back at task 7 and the 3 parts to it, you should now be in a position to complete part A and produce your 4-week health and fitness plan to achieve your SMART target. Part B of the task is for you to undertake that plan. And as you're doing that, you are asked to complete a short training log as evidence. And here is a snapshot of what that training log will look like, with space for you to leave comments as to whether you followed your plan and how you did. And finally, part C is for you to review the outcome of your plan. Now, the workbook will guide you through a number of questions so that you can review the impact of your health and fitness plan. Thank you for listening to this webinar and good luck with completing task 7.